Tuesday, right? So today is the last. Actually, believe it or not, we are finally finishing our first chapter. All of this has been one chapter. Aren't you glad we didn't wait till the end of the chapter to take a test? Yes. Think how much that test would be forever. So, if we're in quadrant 1, this is only true in quadrant 1. When I have two trig functions, such as something that looks like this, this is a composite trig function. I said we do parentheses first, didn't I? So the last thing I'm going to do is going to be to take the sign of something, right? So my answer is going to be a fraction. Do you agree? Am I in quadrant 1? How do you know? Because it's positive. In quadrant 1, and only in quadrant 1, if I am doing a regular and an inverse of the same trig function. Am I? Yeah. The answer is just what is given. The answer is this. Okay?
That's only true for quadrant.
Only true for quadrant 1.
So if it's in quadrant.
Well, we're not doing what if. It's only true for quadrant 1.
So if it's in quadrant 1, then it's the same thing?
Yep.
So that's only if it's sine 2, or does that work for any inverse?
Only if it's in quadrant 1.
So it works for any.
Am I in quadrant 1?
Yeah.
So what is my answer? Pi over 3. Now, the problem is, we have to move out of quadrant 1 sometimes. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We just can't make a home there all the time. That would just be boring. So what if we move out of quadrant 1? Such as something like this. What quadrant am I in now?
2.
Not one anymore.
2.
Whole new rules. Right? What is my answer going to be? Is my answer going to be an angle or a fraction? Okay, this is my last part of the problem, isn't it? When I do inverse, my answer is always an angle. All right? 5 pi over 4 is not a quadrant 1 step. That's 1 1/4 pi. That's way too big. What quadrant is that in? 3. So I'm here, aren't I? Agreed?
Yes.
What is my reference angle? Pi over 4. So isn't it true this is -1, this is -1, this is radical 2? Right? So what is the answer to this?
Angle squared. Yeah,
So what I have is this. Don't I? Ken, if I say something that you're not sure, be sure to let me know, because I'm sure you feel like you kind of are a little lost. Is that right? Okay. When I do inverse sign of a negative, what quadrant is it in? 4. So this is in quadrant 4, and it's down here, and this is radical 2, and this is negative 1. Yes? What is this angle?
That's going to be pi over 4 again.
No, it is not.
Negative pi over 4.
Negative pi over 4. The difference, Andy, is that last time I asked for the reference angle. This time I asked for the angle. Reference angle is pi over 4. The angle itself is negative pi over 4. That's the difference on that. Are we good with that? Is that making sense? Maybe how hard to make this. What quadrant, what is my answer going to be? Let me ask you that first. An angle or a fraction? Angle. Agreed?
Yes.
So, do you know what this value is? What quadrant is that in?
2.
With a reference of what?
Pi over 3.
Pi over 3 makes this radical 3, negative 1 and 2, right? So what is the tangent of 2 pi over 3? Negative radical 3 or negative radical 3 over 1? So I want the arc tangent of negative radical 3. Right? What quadrant is that in? 4? So it's down here. And this is negative radical 3, and this is 1, correct? What is this angle? No. The reference is pi over 3, but what is the angle?
Negative pi over 3.
Negative pi over 3. Because a negative means I went down, correct?
So will your final answer always just be negative? Will it be the reference angle with negative?
Not always.
Not always.
Let's do another one of these before we move together. What is my answer going to be? Fraction. Kind of helps to know what you're looking for at the end sometimes. Do you remember, or maybe I should back up. Where is cosine negative 1? Or cosine negative 1? Where is it? It's what?
You asked for a quadrant.
Is it in a quadrant? Do you remember that I said cosine is -1, 0, or 1, it's on an axis. Do you remember that? So guess what? That's on an axis. What is cosine in terms of letters?
Oh, it's X over R.
X over R. So is X -1 and R 1?
Yeah.
What is Y?
0.
So is this point here?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
What is that point?
I
Pi? So I want the cosine of pi? Can anybody tell me off the top of their head what the cosine of pi is? You should know that. When we graphed cosine, when we graphed the cosine graph, did it look like this?
Yeah.
Isn't this pi?
Yeah.
What is this value? Look at the graph. Think of the graph in your head. That's why we learn the graphs, because that's going to tell you the values for sine and cosine on an axis. Are we good with that? All right, moving on. I'm going to change it up a little bit on you, okay? Is that Channing? Did anybody notice?
I didn't notice.
I saw somebody go by. Let me look. Nope, Channing's coming there.
Yep. Good. Yeah. So.
I do this first. What quadrant is that in?
4.
Are you sure that's quadrant 4?
Yeah.
I'm not. Really?
What?
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. You're right. My fault. I was going to write cosine. I switched to sine. That would have made a difference. So I was working in my head as cosine. So, isn't this here?
Yes.
And this is -2, and this is 3. Correct or not incorrect? Right. Try the third side.
Would it be like 8 or 2/3 and that's more than half?
No, because it's an inverse, and inverse sine is only in 1 and 4. Yeah. Is it radical 5?
That's what I got.
You know how to get it? Is that right there? Radical 5? And it is positive. Right? So this is theta. So what I want is the tangent of theta, don't I? What is the tangent of theta? -2 radical 5 over 5. Right? You good with that? How was that? That was better?
It helps drawing it out.
Oh, it helps a lot drawing it out. Yes, it does. I totally agree with that. Go the other way. Fourth quadrant? Yeah? So I'm here, right? This is negative 12, this is 5. What is this? This is theta. So what is my answer? Negative 12 over 13? Do we agree? What quadrant are we in?
The second.
Second. So I'm here,
Those times don't think.
1 and 2. One for positive, 2 for negative. So would you agree this is negative 2, this is 11?
Yes.
What's my, find the answer.
I have 117.
No.
So. Here you go. 13.
What's the answer though?
Oh, the answer. Oh, never. That's my.
You found the side.
Yeah, I was just. I even did that too.
Right?
I can use, you have to use your phone.
The program that can keep it. I don't know if you.
I did that one intentionally to make sure you remembered that you had to check radicals.
Just for some reason. I did it before, and then after, when I got the final answer, for some reason, it didn't. You know, my brain just works like that.
Does this make sense?
Yes.
Uh-huh.